Let's face it, so many of us are guilty of tech neck posture. You guys know what I'm talking about. The tech neck posture where you're looking down at your cell phone. And as you look down at your cell phone, you go into a forward head posture and to rolling of the shoulders. Now from this position, I have forward head posture and I have what's called a postural hyperkyphosis. Postural hyperkyphosis is a C-shaped spinal curvature. Now what is happening to my physiology in this posture? What is this actually happening to my spine and of course the ability to function within my workspace? So as the head goes down into forward head posture and as the shoulders roll forward and we go into a C-shaped spinal curvature, again that postural hyperkyphosis, what we see is a decline in function of the body. With forward head posture, we actually have an increased amount of weight of our head on our shoulders because the cervical spine is in an advantageous position. So instead of being stacked over our shoulders, we go forward, increasing the amount of pressure to the cervical spine. This can result in neck pain, headaches, muscular dysfunction, radiculopathy, shooting pains down the arms. Now, in addition to that, with the C-shaped spinal curvature where the shoulders round forward and I go into this slumped forward position, also seen here on the spine model, then we also see a decreased lung capacity. So a lot of research studies have demonstrated that while looking down at my cell phone, I have decreased respiratory function because I have a restricted range of motion of my diaphragm and I'm restricting that lung capacity. So we see a decline in function of the body, but in addition to that, it likely is causing more pain. A lot of your patients are presenting with headaches, they're presenting with neck pain. Just by reversing tech neck posture, we can help them overcome these common musculoskeletal disorders. So again, as I look down at my cell phone, I naturally go into forward head posture and postural hyperkyphosis. One of the best solutions to reversing this with posture habit education is simply by raising your desktop monitor or your laptop up to eye level, and when checking your cell phone, bringing your cell phone up to eye level instead of looking down in this manner for prolonged periods of time. Now, another thing that we tend to do with our cell phones that's also affecting not necessarily forward head posture, but postural distortion patterns of the cervical spine, is that when we're talking on the phone for prolonged periods of time, what do? We do this type of action. So now I'm going into a complete head tilt instead of keeping my head straight while talking on the phone. A great solution that is so simple to do and isn't going to cost any money is by actually plugging in, with your headphones. So now from this position, I can walk and talk. I can actually increase my non-exercise activity thermogenesis by walking and talking on the phone, and I don't have a postural distortion pattern. So instead of holding the phone here in a lateral head tilt, creating a new postural distortion pattern, I can simply plug in my headphones, walk and talk. I can be more active in my workspace, and of course I'm preventing a postural distortion pattern. So again, instead of looking down at the cell phone, bring that cell phone up to eye level, and instead of holding a lateral head tilt, bring your headphones along with you, and then that way you can walk and talk without going into a postural distortion pattern. In addition to that, there's some really easy things that your patients or your clients can do at work to reverse tech neck posture is these two exercises, and all it's going to take is just a bungee, right? So this is something that they can put in their desk and they can perform throughout their workday, and it's going to be highly effective for them. So the first is going to be neck retractions. So with tech neck posture, we go into a forward head posture. What we want to see is that we retract the cervical spine. So we're going to retract the chin back with the ears aligned over the shoulders. Now they can perform this without a resistance band, but then when they develop the postural fitness, they should perform it with a resistance band to make it a little bit more difficult to continue to challenge their physiology in a positive manner. So by placing this behind the head, okay, now I have resistance, and what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go up and back. Just the opposite. I'm going to go straight back and retract and hold, okay? So from this forward position, forward head posture, retract back and hold. And I want to hold this retracted position for a minimum of 10 seconds so you can really feel that retraction as I retract the neck back. Now, if the patient's having problems because they've had prolonged or a chronic postural distortion pattern and they keep going up and back, talk to them about placing just a finger on their chin and pushing their chin back so their eyes stay level, but they're pushing their chin back and hold. And again, hold that for 10 seconds. And then also the patient can perform posture angels. So the neck retractions is specifically to reverse the postural distortion pattern of forward head posture. Posture angels is going to help them reverse that postural hyperkyphosis. So what they're going to do is they're going to stand against the wall, and they're going to have their back flat against the wall, including the back of their shoulders, and they're going to take their feet forward one step. And then with the bungee, they start with their arms here, and it's really important that they keep their elbows against the wall. Okay, so we don't want to see this action because now I'm rounding forward again, right? So we want to see them reverse the postural distortion pattern of postural hyperkyphosis. So with my elbows against the wall, my back is flat against the wall, my head is slightly forward just so I can bring this down, but I'm not in a forward head posture, just centimeters forward. Now I start here, and I'm going to bring down in this position. As I do this, I'm feeling a nice contraction between my scapulae, and then back up. Now notice when I go back up, my shoulders and my elbows and my wrists still stay against the wall. So it's a posture angel movement from here down and hold. And they're going to feel that retraction between their scapulae. And because they're flat against the wall, we're reversing that postural distortion pattern of postural hyperkyphosis. So again, tech neck posture is so common. I mean, literally almost every patient presents with tech neck posture these days because it's so common to spend hours of our time looking down at a cell phone or looking at our computer device. So simple adjustments for posture re-education, bring that device up to eye level, and instead of going into a lateral head tilt to hold the phone up, utilize your headphones. And then to reverse the postural distortion pattern throughout the day, you can easily place this in your desk and then just have them perform neck retraction, retract back and hold, and then performing that posture angel to reverse forward head posture as well as postural hyperkyphosis. Remember, it's posture by design and not by circumstance.